Eye opener on this one. These are the words of a wise man. Nobody carries a heavy burden than he who has evil intentions. Once there's a creation, there must be a creator. God, whose supernatural powers and miracles can only be found in the book, but not in real life, is equal to a God who never existed. Nasajina Nejuma, body rare. Abraham Ben Moshe, leader of Common Sense family. No size. Wagwan P Black.
Christianity is a business.
Yeah.
Jesus is the product. Christians are the customers. Your prophet and your pastors are the beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Logic and common sense.
My friends, foolish born again Christians who are believers and not thinkers.
Yeah, Zoe once again. You know, when you're young, you believe everything, but when you grow, you need to question them. These are some questions, very relevant. Don't be offended. Better music. All right, yeah. Many so time me who we are seeing no. And I yesu beba maybe sanebia na wengo. Fise free tete a Christopher see Jesus is coming soon 20 years ago. And so still I won't do. Common sense in judgment in answer that why you garden of feeding on yakupon said we are the wembu. Yeah. To be on the map on sama went to. We was a bon sama me bonia me kojemo. When you blasphemy, bami who say it make sense. On the ball me or mama journey for self defense. When I go bob on some many paya bonia, I then I won't couldn't to avoid more offense. But when kumbun sam no kone ba. Before then, we be kuhumu binkeka. Or notice room for when temene aquanantena. Na jena jatia sasso na jebe shamana jaconya. Hey, who be the enemy? Samoka sebon samoa a Sunday so funny. O Christonia unido, munyame sumponi. Na mobon paye tututu, na bruni making more money. And pabon save your economy, so shut up. Use the common sense. Yeah, you madem boa woman nenya with daily bread. Na two we japa dear who fence. O kwa sorry you, one ko, body nana church. Utu yesika de months of war, na yere na weekends. Unyankopon we need bank account. Nyame so pane so bebe kakra ko hwenyanka. Utu our tight, to our dues, emu dollar pounds. And so make us say you be pound sorry akodim pampa. Without the respect, ya Maria Sam sunyame o. Unyankopon boy say ya meso me yanho ho. Enti we ye lawyer near, we ye doctor near, we ye teacher near, dino kure eno no. CSF Abraham Ben Moshe. Nana yeton kante man ka Ghana antiti say religion ti kamia ye senyansa nya adwuma biemu. Yato yankocha na twe na kofa broni die no. Wuhia bibeni a ye frɛ wo saying or ye frɛ me Frederick. And so be hu broni bia ye frɛ no Kofi Konto. Ya yara identity. So who gonna be called the brethren? Broni say nekete that's why bibeni mbobo. Adwene ne ho abode ne bre. Obi ne ho a wotwe abebe sika da ho a wonpe. Wa broni ka pra ye de to ahwe de. Enti Africa yanto ye ne meye be ye mobo. Ye frɛ me zo we nwum ne ye me bomo kokko.
Mr. Benji on the beat.
You can't use logic in the church. You can't use logic. Using logic in the church will disprove the belief system. This is the logic. All loving God created Satan. No only Satan at the top. And Satan started confusion. This all loving God, when come Satan, Bible say the wages of sin is death. Satan ye bonia nyankopon kuno. Another concept. Almost says away bonia, a Satan and a jijo and our ye boni. And Satan so eba be boni no. Who was Satan? Who jiji Satan to become Satan? Christianity is a business.
Yeah.
Jesus is the product. Christians are the customers. Your prophet and your pastors are the beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Logic and common sense.
All the works of the darkness. What the powers? What another dangerous, mysterious operation by the major one. Watch him lifting up the whole woman, this good woman, according to the direction of the Holy Spirit. Christianity is not religion. Watch your scheme. What major one is doing. This is mystery and strange to those of you. If you are living in Canada, that is the power. That is the power. This is mystery. Do not try it at home. This is dangerous. The heavenly terror. Tell your pastor not to try it anywhere. It is dangerous. It is spiritually designed for spiritual being. The great immortality, like a dangerous lion. Dangerous.
God did not send Jesus to bring poverty. People were rich before Jesus came. And people are rich without Jesus. You don't need Jesus to be rich. People were rich before Jesus came. And without Jesus, there are very many rich people who don't believe in Christ. Who don't even believe in God. You better listen to me now. Follow me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You don't need Jesus to be rich, to be wealthy. You don't need Jesus to marry. You don't need Jesus to give birth. You don't need Jesus for all of this. These are things that were, and I will continue to be. People were rich before Christ. There are many rich people who don't believe in Christ. Oh, Christians think it's only in Christianity that barren women conceive. You think it's only in Christianity that women who are not giving birth for some years later eventually gave birth. You think it's only in Christianity. Only those who go for miracle crusade. See, that is where we miss it. I have told you that the blessing of Genesis 1, an express command of paying tax in the Bible than tithes in the New Testament. Pay tax, hold your government responsible. Countries like Denmark, all the first world countries, there are countries that pay taxes and their government use their taxes. They are much better than those places where you pay tithes and they are building heavy religious worship centers and stuff like that. A country that still sponsors people to pilgrimage. People are going to pilgrimage in Israel and Saudi Arabia. Carry the money you should have used to build hospitals and schools. You know, Nigeria, everything in Nigeria is not good. Because everything in Nigeria, the God in Nigeria is a local God, like local rice. There is too much sand and stone on it. Is the God in Jerusalem and the one in Saudi Arabia. We will not have sense. Even Christians who are educated, I'm expecting to have sense. Christians should tell federal government, stop sponsoring Christians for pilgrimage. We don't want that millions, hundreds of millions of naira they use for pilgrimage. They should give us that. Let us use it and build hospital where Christians can be having free medical checkup. If they want to be giving our Muslim brothers to be going to Saudi Arabia, let them give them their own. But for our Christian, pilgrimage is supposed to be an individual thing. If you have the money and you want to go, you go. Government is foolish to be using money for infrastructure. Not even rich countries sponsor their people for pilgrimage. And here we are so religious that, do you know how much they use for pilgrimages? If they tell you how much they use for pilgrimages, you weep. And what is the pilgrimage? You will go to Jerusalem. And so you go there, God will come down. Jesus will now come afresh, you will see him. And the God you are going to see there is not the God that we are serving here. Who do us these things, sir? In a country where you have no... See, should wake up. Make an agreement with the government. That money for pilgrimage, since you don't want to stop it, give us our own. And it should be transparently used to build either hospital or schools. Is made up of different blocks. They can share how people can benefit.
Good morning, beautiful Sunday. Good morning, CSF. Please, as usual, when you come, you share the video. Okay, I see you. Zubaila, wifey, how are you? How about you? Please, as usual, when you come, you share the video for me. We are here to learn. Today is Sunday, you know. We didn't go to church, so let's do our Sunday church service here. Let's pump some wisdom into people. Sunday church service. Unfortunately, the program has clashed. I think 2000 Defenders is also live now, but we can all keep doing what we are doing. The messages will be down for people to come and watch. And this is the English section of the Sunday service. And I'm here to speak about man the problem, man the solution. Man is the savior. Human beings have always been the savior. So let's speak a little into the religious deceptions. If you come, you share this video. My name is Lifestone GH, and you know on this page I do live. This video is also streaming across two other platforms, Back to My Root and Truth is One by Otimo Finisher. Thank you very much. Let's learn. I was, you know, just this morning, when I wake up and I saw this news about TB Joshua actually dying, and I was thinking about a whole lot of things and how religion have actually deceived people, put them in some boxes that they cannot free themselves from. And I decided, okay, let me come live and let's address one or two issues. What is the truth in religion? Because this is it. TB Joshua, who had a well, who had this holy water that he was actually selling to people, in case there is death after them. He was actually selling these waters to people, prophesying to them that it could even kick death out of their life. But the man who was producing the water itself, the man who was actually selling the water itself, the water could not save the man from his death. You see, to people like me, death is inevitable. I fear death. I say I fear death. I fear poverty more than I fear death. Yes, me. I fear poverty more than I fear death, because you will surely die. Death is certain. You see, no one has so far gotten proof to immortality. So death is certain, but poverty is not certain. Poverty is not constant. You understand? Poverty. So actually, for me to fear death, I would rather fear poverty. I'm more scared of poverty than death. I'm more scared of poverty than death. So this is it. Let's listen to prayer before we start, okay? I like to actually usher in prayer before we start. Let's listen to prayer.
Every say, Niotia Muno, Azojani, hey, I let you a Pasika Kakua blanket. Every say, any power, Azojano.
What a new way to cool off and quench your thirst. And now everyone is enjoying the surprising experience of Paradise Pack treated drinking water. Join the refreshing experience and enjoy the all-new Paradise Pack treated drinking water.
Paradise Park treated drinking water. Drink pure, live more.
Christians, my friends, foolish born again Christians who are believers and not thinkers. You lie to them, they believe it. You deceive them. You know, the Christians, born again Christians, are the easiest people to deceive. Yeah, Pastor Gandhi says they like to be deceived. As a matter of fact, when I started ministry as a young man, I was talking to an older, I won't call him man of God, but an older practitioner. You know, the way, people who are ahead always want to advise young people. So this older guy,
Amen to that prayer. Sorry for taking long. I just had a visitor I had to attend to. Sorry. Okay, so once we've received the prayer, we know it's Sunday, so we have to pray. Prayer is good. Prayer is good. Thank you very much. Now let's look at this. Let's go straight to the topic. Over the years, we have these beliefs in religion that actually there is a deity, there is a God that is somewhere in the sky who gave us a son, Jesus Christ. And over the years, they are the ones doing all these miracles. They are performing miracles. They are healing people. And Jesus healed the lepers, and he healed the blind people, and all this stuff. Throughout the centuries, till today, till this 21st century, nowhere on earth that we have seen a single angel flying down from the sky bringing a miracle, or any pastor actually performing any miracle. Let me tell you the truth. Most of even these miracles that happen in church that delude people, it's something that happens in the brain, okay? It's the brain. The brain controls everything about our body, okay? The nerves in our brain, they control everything in our body. So sometimes when you feel pain, when you are scared, when you are hungry, when you are thirsty, most of these things are communicated through the brain. So there are people who actually develop this meditation senses where they don't even feel pain. There are some Indian practices. There are some Indian practices where people actually walk on coal. People actually can sustain long hours in deep freezers and stuff. It's all sort of meditation. They've trained the mind to actually forget the cold or forget the heat and cool off. So this is what I think. Man has always been the problem, and man has always been the solution. In the Bible, there is a favorite thing Christians like to talk about, like when Jesus healed the 10 lepers, okay? Jesus healed the 10 lepers. And we saw this was a great miracle that Jesus performed, being able to heal 10 lepers. 10 people suffering from leprosy, Jesus actually healed them. And we saw this as a miracle. This was a wonderful miracle that till today we still talk about, which doesn't happen in reality. And you will see people always giving credit to Jesus. There are people giving credit to Jesus. But you see, one of the things that amazes me is this. One of the things that amazes me, there is this guy who actually helped human beings develop the cure to leprosy. Okay? There was a guy who actually helped human beings. He was this, what was it? He was, I think, let me look for this guy a minute. I think he was a Vietnamese, or he was what was his name? A minute, I'm coming. Yeah, I'll find that in and bring it later. So Jesus actually healed 10 lepers, right? And today we have human beings who have actually developed anti-leprosy drugs. That one would prevent you from getting the leprosy at all. You don't even need to get the leprosy for it to be healed. We are here to learn, okay? We are here to take certain delusions out of our minds, okay? When we are talking about gods that have walked on earth, the gods have always been human beings. Take it Jesus Christ, take it Moses, take it Muhammad, take it whoever that you like. The gods have always been human beings. The saviors have always been human beings. There is no single angel that we have seen anywhere. We have never seen God sending any angel down to this earth to do any single thing before. You know, in the Bible, Moses actually, in the book of Exodus, Moses helped the Israelites cross this Red Sea. And the distance of the Red Sea was about 5 kilometers, right? The distance of the Red Sea was about 5 kilometers. And it was the greatest miracle of that time that God actually opened the Red Sea for people to actually walk through the Red Sea. And it was a miracle. And today, we are teaching our children that this kind of miracles exist. Right in our faces. There are super miracles that are existing that we don't want to teach our children. Right in our faces today, we have seen super duper miracles happening every day. But because we think these miracles are done by mere mortals and not any God-ordained prophet or God-sent angel, we don't see these things as miracles. Now let's look at this. The longest man-made bridge in this world is in Beijing, Shanghai. Okay? Beijing, Shanghai. The bridge is about 165 kilometers long across water. That bridge is about 165 kilometers long across water. But Moses helped the Israelites to cross a 5 kilometer a 5 kilometer distance of water. We saw this as the greatest miracle that could ever be performed. Today, man does not need to divide or separate the water. Man has actually been able to build a 165 kilometer bridge across the deepest ocean in China. Not only for cars, not only for humans, but for things as heavy as train. Yes. There are train bridges in China that are about 102 miles long. That's approximately 160 kilometers. But the Israelites actually crossed a Red Sea of 5 kilometers, and it was a miracle. Jesus turned water into wine. It was a miracle. Today we have factories using water. You know, there is no fruit juice they are actually producing today without water. We can't see the miracle in these things. But we want to be deluded in our brains with some superstitious beliefs. Why is it that it's like human beings want to be deluded? Like I'm saying, sorry. It's not like I'm enjoying the death of somebody. Like I said, me, I'm not scared of death. Death is for every living thing. Every living thing is gonna die. are more scared of being poor than scared of dying. Yes. Because death is constant. Death is inevitable. Every human being shall surely die. Death should be the last thing that you should ever be scared of. Fear poverty. Don't fear death. When you fear poverty, you work hard unto attaining riches. Death is not something that you should be afraid of. So, TB Joshua, okay? I've seen a lot of miracle services in TB Joshua's church where he was healing people. When he prophesied, people were going to die and he gave them some waters to go and drink and actually survive. TB Joshua helped people to survive death, beat death. Actually, TB Joshua was a prophet who actually challenged nature, that people were about to die and he saw it and stopped it. The irony part of this situation is, we did that, I think in the year 2014 to 2015, TB Joshua's church collapsed, killing about 115 people in the church. The prophet did not see this. The prophet did not see when 115 people were about to die in his church. By his own church building, the prophet could not see. But this same prophet was in church prophesying about things that are going to happen. He first prophesied in 2019 that coronavirus will end by April. It didn't pass. Later on, he said God has revealed this lemon therapy to him, that when you have the virus, you should do lemon therapy. All these things are deception in religion. Man has been the problem of this world, and man has always been the solution. Let's look at what transpired between Palestine and Israel. Less than a month ago, let's look at what happened. Did you see any angel from heaven descending to actually solve this problem? And the Quran told you when Muhammad was going to war and Allah promised him that 10,000 angels will follow him to war. I said, when Palestine and Israel started fighting, did you see any 10,000 angels follow Palestine? Man has been the problem and man has always been the solution. The gods and angels that have walked on this earth are men and continue to be men. Don't be deceived. The delusion is too much. The delusion is too much. Men have done greater things than any God could ever do. You don't understand. In Genesis 11, the Tower of Babel, God came down, God and his people, they came down from heaven to confuse a whole lot of people because God felt these people were united and they were building a tower that could reach him in heaven. That story till today, I still don't make sense of the story. People were gathered and they were building this tower that could make them reach God in heaven or whatsoever. And they were united and they were powerful. All of a sudden, this God saw that no, these people, they are too united and they are becoming too powerful. Let me go down there and cause confusion among them so that they stop building the tower that could reach me. Today, people are en masse. Today, people have gone to space. We have landed robots on Mars today, actually exploring Mars and giving us live updates. Where is the God? The God that actually destroyed the life of people because they were building just a tower that could reach the sky. Where is that God? When rockets are flying all over the space. When today we have space stations that contain human beings. Where is the God? Today we have not built towers. Today we are flying in planes. Today, we are flying in planes. So where is the God? This is the question we keep on asking. Today, with the human intelligence, look at what we have done to this world. Yes, human beings started World War I, and human beings ended World War I. Human beings started World War II, and human beings ended World War II. No matter what has happened on this planet Earth, human beings have always found the need to survive and move on. Yes, even at the brink, God, let me tell you this. Look, God did not even have a solution to fix his own goddamn world. The only solution God had was to destroy the entire world. It's funny. It's funny that the Creator himself, who created this beautiful world that we are in, when things got bad, the Creator did not have any solution into solving these things. The Creator had to send a flood down to actually destroy everything that he has created. I look at this Creator and I look at man. I said man has come out of the worst things in history, and man has always survived. This coronavirus is not the first ever pandemic that have ever hit man. It was created by man and it is still being solved by man. Let's look at the 1918 influenza. How many people the influenza killed in 1918? Do the math, do the calculation. How many people died from influenza? How many people even died from polio outbreak? Man has always been there. Man has always been there. Man has always been the solution. Because when the God acts, the God rather kill people more than solving the problem. Today, if today we are to compare what was happening in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? No normal thinking human being will go and burn the entire city down. No normal thinking human being will go there to actually burn the entire city. The only solution this God had to Sodom and Gomorrah was actually burning the city into ashes. And what has come out of it? It was sin after sin after sin and after sin, and the God went creating issues upon issues upon issue to go to the stand where the God decided that no, enough is enough. Let me kill my own son, drink his blood to atone for the sins of the creation. The God went to the extent that, oh, enough is enough. Too much killing. I've killed people. Look, the God went to Israel and took 600,000 people. Okay? He went to Egypt. God sent Moses to Egypt to take 600,000 people to cross them to a so-called promised land, a destination which you can even ride a bicycle to reach. It took them 40 years in the wilderness. And from these 40 years, the God kept on killing. The God killed the people to the extent where his prophet even saw that, God, though, why do you like killing this way? The 600,000 people that God took from Egypt, how much survived? How many go to the promised land? This same God killed all of them. So sometimes when I listen to these pastors and they are preaching, Satan is the deceiver, Satan is the devil, Satan is the killer, then you ask them a simple question. Please, can you take me to a Bible verse where Satan ever killed somebody? Does Satan have the power to kill? No. This same God created his people, and this same God has been killing his people over and over and over and over again, to the extent where killing the people did not satisfy him anymore. This God had to come down, sleep with a woman, give birth to a son, and actually kill the son. Oh, my people, are we thinking? Are we digesting the message? The God of Israel, he started killing people. You know, sometimes even the people that he kills, you don't understand. Because let's take let's start from the Cain and Abel story. There were Adam and Eve gave birth to Cain and Abel, right? Abel was the good one and Cain was the bad one, according to the story. Thank you. Abel, the good one that was serving God, this God sat down, folded his arms, and saw his own bad brother murder him. Ah, my people. You see, let's think. Let's think. Oh, this is no spiritual understanding. There is no spiritual understanding to the Cain and Abel story. Abel, the favorite servant of God, who was actually serving to please God. The God sat down, the all-knowing God sat down, folded his arms, and watched Cain murder his brother. And after that, according to biblical history, he gave Cain immortality. And he gave him a mark that no one could ever touch him. And Cain went ahead with his life, went to some so-called land of North. I don't know which alien created those people, or maybe when God was creating, Satan was also creating. So Cain got to the land of North, met another group of people, married and settled there. It doesn't make sense. So the God started his killing right from the garden, came down to the time of Noah. Killed everything, left Noah and his family, the same people. Right the day the ark landed, sin started again. Right the day that the ark landed, sin started again. Because Noah was a drunkard, he got drunk, and his nakedness was outside, and one son decided to laugh at him, and this same Noah stood up and cursed the son. Meaning sin did not die when God decided to cleanse the whole earth. You see, this is a God who, in my knowledge, this is a God who does not even think. This is a God who doesn't think at all. Because if I want to find a solution to a problem, and the solution that I'm going to find to the problem is only temporary and not permanent, then there is no need for me worrying myself. Because if I'm looking for a solution, it should be permanent solution. That is why as human beings as we keep perfecting everything. Every time we keep perfecting. We keep perfecting until we get there. So God saw there was too much evil on earth. So he wanted to cleanse the whole earth. He wanted to cleanse the whole earth by killing everything, destroying everything that he has created. The innocent animals who were not even part of this sin, God decided to. And let me tell you something. You know the funny thing about this Noah story? Human beings were not the problem. You see, the whole funny story, the whole thing about this funny Noah story was this. The human beings were not the problem. I think in Genesis chapter 6 verse 1 going, there is a story there. It's very short. In Genesis chapter 6, the story is very short. When human beings finally spread across the earth, there were some heavenly beings, some heavenly angels, who saw that the human beings on earth were beautiful, and they decided to come down and lay with them. That story actually continues in the Gospel of Enoch. That Genesis 6 story, the full story is in the Gospel of Enoch. Then you know what actually happened. That is what they call them, the fallen ones. It's not the fallen ones. They were in heaven serving God. They saw beautiful women like Zubela, and they came down to sleep with the women. This story does not even make sense to the extent that the heavenly beings didn't have enough women in heaven to actually sleep with. They saw human beings on earth and found them attractive. So they came down to actually sleep with the women. And according to the book of Enoch, these same angels, they came to teach human beings magic. They came to teach human beings spices, makeup, everything. These angels came down and taught us everything, and they taught us evil. God could not have killed these heavenly beings. So God decided to destroy the whole world because these heavenly beings came to bed with our women and they gave birth to some children that we call the Nephilims. You see, they gave birth to some children that they named the Nephilims, the children of the fallen ones. So the Nephilims were strong and they were causing atrocities on earth. So God did not have any solution than to kill both the humans and the Nephilims together. So he sent down the flood. But look, my people, I said humans the solution. The problem and humans has always been the solution. You see, if you tell me how did we get here, no human being has the answer to that. It is finding the answer to how we got here. That is why we have all these religious indoctrinations teaching us, trying to tell us how we got here. So the stories have existed generations upon generations, decades upon decades, thousands of years upon thousands of years. The stories have existed and they have been rewritten over and over again. The Noah story is no different from the Epic of Gilgamesh story. Okay? The Noah story is no different from the Anunnaki story. The whole concept of Adam and Eve is no different from the story of the Anunnakis, the foreign aliens that dwell on earth, that created us to be their slaves. They created the first man and women as slaves, Adam and Eve. Go and research into the Anunnaki story. And this story existed more than 5,000 years before even the existence of Adam and Eve. So are we learning? Today, because of this, human beings don't realize how powerful they are. So you see the African child, and the African children are always like, "Oh, it is not me. I don't have the strength to do anything. It's not by my might. It's not by my power, but it is by the glory of God." You have the might. You have the power. Human beings, we kill and we cure. We heal people and we wound people. It is us. That is why when the bad becomes worse, we always try to find a solution to survive. The survival of the human race has been our priority from the beginning, wherever it began till today. And the human beings are still surviving. There are no angels among us. There are no deities doing anything for human beings. We have always developed every ability. In actual sense, there is no energy until we start giving our mental power to a certain thing to become energy. So man has always been the problem and man has always been the solution. Man is the savior of humanity. No God, no Jesus have died to save anybody. The whole concept of Prophet Muhammad came and dragged a sword and fought for the land of Arabia. That is even if he actually existed. If Prophet Muhammad actually existed, what he came to do was fighting and conquering for the land of Arabia. It did not extend to you. I saw one of our brother, Peace Dawa Media, doing some video about Quinny Jonas trying to warn him of speaking against the prophet and all this stuff. And I'm like, what the guy say? Quinny Jonas did not even insult Prophet Muhammad. He was asking somebody, what has Prophet Muhammad done for the person? Or what has Prophet Muhammad ever done for Ghana? That is fact. Jesus was sent to the Israelites. Jesus was sent to the Jews. Even if Jesus existed, whatever he came to do, by his own words, he did it for the Jews. Prophet Muhammad came to the land of Arabia. Whatever he came to do is for the benefit of Arabia. It is not the benefit of Africa. Prophet Muhammad has not done a single thing for an African person. Get this fact straight. This is no insult. If I ask you what has Jesus done for Ghana, you said I'm insulting Jesus. Muhammad has not done anything for Ghana, and it is a fact. That is what we are saying. When we sing our national anthem or recite our national pledge, those who have actually done something for us are our fathers. Muhammad is not part of my father. My land was even gotten for me through the blood and toil of my father. Through the blood and toil of our fathers. So, my brother, Peace Dawa Media, going to attack Quinny Jonas for asking a simple question, what has Muhammad done for Ghana, trying to incite the Muslim community against Quinny Jonas, it's not going to work. Let's face fact, we want to save our country. We want to save Ghana. Jesus have not done anything for Ghana. Muhammad has not done anything for Ghana. The best things Arabians have ever done for Ghana is actually building masjid upon masjid upon masjid. How does a masjid help Ghana? When you go to Agbogloshi, there is masjid over there, in the field over there, in the Bola. People enter the masjid to worship Allah, and the whole masjid is surrounded by filth. Let's speak truth. Let's talk truth. Let's stop all this bias. Let's stop all this religious whatsoever. Let's think about Ghana. Let's think about Ghana. We are the problem and we supposed to be the solution. If Prophet Muhammad existed, he came to the land of Arabia, he conquered for Arabia, he made sure Arabia was the land that he wants it to be before he left. Prophet Muhammad did not come to fight for Africa. If Jesus had existed, he came to the land of Israel and he laid his life down for the Israelites. I'm not included. So I need to also look at people who came, laid down their lives for my land, and actually use them as role models to mold my life. So if I ask you what has Prophet Muhammad done for Ghana, it's a simple question. This is not something like I'm insulting Muhammad. No. No one is condoning insult, but a question needs to be asked, and the question was asked. It's no insult. Don't try and incite Muslims against Quinny Jonas. It's not going to work, because half of the followers of Quinny Jonas, they are Muslims, and they know what the guy is saying is actual facts. Taking away the insult, he speaks actual truth. Then I heard him saying, Ghanaians, what you are doing right now, when there is something, no Ghanaian will be there to support you. My brother, Peace Dawa Media, that age is over. Look, I said the worst thing that could ever happen in Ghana today is we hearing any freedom fighter has actually been touched. That is the worst thing that can happen in Ghana today. You don't know what is happening. That mentality, that kind of mentality, Ghana for there, they just like talking. Look, we are past that age. Most of us now are ready and willing to die for this country. Yes, people lay down their lives and die to make sure you have a Ghana today. Most of us today are willing to go through same. So forget it. Forget it. Not even most of the elders in Ghana are blaming Quinny Jonas for what he's saying. They all know what the guy is doing there. He's right for doing it. So don't be a hypocrite. You have been in Ghana yourself. You've seen the system in Ghana, how it's going. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't try to use your religious triumph over everything. For God's sake, the Saudi Arabia that brought you the religion, look at how Saudi Arabia is. Start thinking. Saudi Arabia today is rating a lot of things over the religion. Dubai is even canceling a lot of things for tourist attraction because they've seen the survival of their people is the key importance and not the religion. Forget the religion and think about your country. This is what we are telling you guys. You don't understand. You think we are attacking religion. No. Don't wear your religious beliefs over your country. No. That is wrong. You are Ghanaian. Ghana is your priority. Stop fighting for an Arabian man. You are Ghanaian. Ghana is your priority. Stop fighting over a Jewish man. Unless we decide to act, no one will do anything. When the Church of Pentecost have realized no God comes down to do anything for people, they started building prisons. Yes, it is we who will build the prisons. We who have to make life comfortable for our people. No Jesus, no God anywhere is coming down to do anything for you. In the time of Moses, they took sword and they fought for their people. Muhammad took sword, killed, slaughtered people in the name of saving his people. No Ghanaian was among this. No Ghanaian is in support of this. Babangida, learn sense. Babangida, I'm not talking whether we pay our taxes to the masjid or whatsoever. Babangida, I said the masjid, around the masjid. Come and let's go to Agbogloshi. The masjid in around that Agbogloshi area. Just look at the environment surrounding the masjid. The masjid has been painted beautiful, looking nice. It is whole ball of filth that is surrounding the masjid. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you paying taxes to the masjid. My brothers, if you can't listen, keep quiet and be there and stop. You need a government to also clean the masjid for you. The filth that you do yourself. You need a government to go there and actually take shovel and start digging the baller around the masjid for you. When you enter the masjid, you walk in filth, then you go and do ablution and you say you are serving God. You know what cleanliness is about? You know what cleanliness is about? What we achieve for masjid. And you don't pay taxes to masjid. The taxes that you don't, the money that you use to build that masjid could equally educate how many Zongo children. My brother, start thinking straight and stop certain mentalities. These mentalities are not helping you. You are always there to jump and defend religion. Always there to jump and defend the religion. What is the religion actually doing for you? Let's put the government aside. Let's put the government aside. What are you Zongo people doing to help your own children? Zongo people, what are you actually doing to help your children that are in the Zongo that have turned to street beggars? The worst problems, the worst crimes in Ghana can be found in almost all the Zongos. What are you guys doing? Is the religion actually stopping the people from becoming bad? How long have you been preaching in the Zongo? How long has masjids been built in the Zongo? I don't know armed robbers in the Zongo. I don't know weed smokers in the Zongo. I don't know cocaine dealers in the Zongo. I don't know prostitutes in the Zongo. What do you mean? Babangida, when you come to my page, you have to take time because I talk with fire. And when I'm speaking on my page, I don't care who comes here. I try my best to refrain from insult. So when you type a comment, you be very careful of your comment. Yes. We can blame the government all we want. But I'm saying individually, personally, the masjid that is around every corner in Lima, can't you just put a masjid? Even the problem I have is this. Most of you Muslims, you don't even need too much masjid. Your religion is so flexible that you can even use your homes as masjids. You can pray in front of your homes. You travel from here to Saudi Arabia, and what you go and beg for is money to build a masjid. How many libraries, how many computer libraries can be found in Nima? The fraud boys in Ghana, where are they located at? Those Sakawa boys, those fraud boys, are they not in the Zongos? Are you not preaching in the same Zongo? Do they not build masjid with the scam money? The scam money. Do they not build masjids with the scam money? They go and scam people and they come and build masjid with the scam money and you keep praising them. How has the religion actually affected their lives? How has the religion affected their lives? Tell me. If the religion is so good and could actually put people in shape, we should see the example coming from the Zongo, Babagida. Come on. Forget the government. The government can be bad as it is, but individually we can also do something equally. Even if not for the entire Nima, for the children that you people keep giving birth to. Because when we talk of population growth across the entire Ghana, the Zongos have more and more every year. Because you people still practice polygamy and you give birth a lot. What are the proper measures that you are putting down for your children? Or you are waiting for the government to come to Zongo and put a single computer library in Zongo for you? Brother, when you come to my page, you take time. Oh. When I'm speaking about Ghana, I don't care who is on my line. Yes. I grew up in the Zongos. I'm a Nima boy. I'm a Newtown boy. I'm a Fadama boy. I'm a Dakuman boy. I know what is happening in the Zongos. Say the truth to yourself. Your big sheikhs, your so-called sheikhs, they go to Mecca in and out every day. They go to Mecca and come. What have they done for the Zongos? You come and sit there and say, do you pay taxes? Do you pay taxes to them? No. Individually, personally, you can do something. Yes. You can do something. Despite when he got the riches, go and look at the development that he gave to his town. Enter Despite's town and see the development that he has done there. At least he has done his best. When we are talking about the richest people in Ghana, there are Alajis and Ajias in Ghana who are secretly billionaires. What do? And in every year they sponsor people to go to Hajj and come back, and that is it. We need to speak truth to your people. Which area in Ghana is more dirty than the Zongos? Do you expect the government to come and keep the Zongos neat for you? Because you pay tax to the government? You wake up and you can't clean your own environment and you blame the government for it? Our people, we are wild. We want Ghana to be okay. Yes. If the people in Dubai are Muslims, and Dubai is Dubai, and Dubai can also be called a Zongo, then there is nothing stopping Nima from becoming like Dubai. You people are wealthy and you can do a lot by yourself. But because your leaders are greedy and you are even afraid to deal with them, your leaders are greedy and you are afraid to deal with your leaders. That is why the Zongo is the way it is. In every 4 years, the politicians visit your Zongo and they give your imams, your sheikhs, your malams, they give them bags of rice, oil and things, and they convince you people to go and vote for party A or party B. The Zongos alone in Ghana could stand up to politicians in Ghana to do the right thing. But what do we see? All you know is when someone talk about Muhammad, then hey, wallah mun kasheshi, hey, wallah mun prophet munaba muakadeshi, hey, back you magana kake Muhammad. That is all you know. Take knives, go and kill for Muhammad. Take knives, go and kill for Muhammad. Your children are fucking dying in the Zongus. Treat it. Treat it. When there is cholera outbreak, look at the people that die in the Zongus because of filth. Treat it. Stop fighting people for Muhammad. Talking, you come to my page and you type anything. Baba Gida here, when you come here, you learn sense. When we come to your pages, we chat to make fun. But when you come to my page and I'm serious, you listen and you hear, I pump sense into your head. I'm not here to attack your religion. I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to attack you. Yes. Be an example of a Muslim who think cleanliness is next to godliness. When I enter your Zongos, I should see an example of a Muslim. An example of a Muslim is not the cleanliness you give to your body, that you walk 1 week without bathing and you put on expensive perfumes. And you tell me performing ablution alone is enough for you to be clean. No. And meet a Muslim lady out there and they give you contact to come and visit them. They're even scared for you to come to their home. So they always give you a location to meet them. Because if you don't take time, the filth that you walk through before you get to the home of that girl, it will make you despise the girl. It is true. We know it. If I'm not making sense, you can come and talk sense. If you think I'm not making sense, you can come here and teach me sense. Look, I said man has been the problem and man will always be the solution. If we could actually fix our minds on the point that we are the solution to this earth, a lot of things will change. That's why Sadhguru said the biggest crime of humanity is thinking there is a better place than here. Yes, Babagida is there thinking there are some 72 virgins in some so-called imaginary heaven that has been created for him. So even if Nima is filthy, he will go to that heaven. How sure are you can keep that heaven clean? Eh? Babagida, even if you are supposed to go to that your heaven, this world is a test. How well have you passed the test? You can't even sweep your own room. You want to go to heaven and fuck 72 angels. Are you kidding me? You can't sweep your own area. You want to go to heaven and keep there clean. If God or Allah have designed any heaven for a Muslim, it will not take a week before they start shitting around all the compounds in heaven. My people, let's speak truth. We are not scared of the truth. We are not scared of the truth. How long would it take you to destroy Christians? Even Christians, they are more filthy Christians. Sunday, you see them, they dress up in all the neat clothes and they are going to church. You visit a lady's room and you can't even breathe. You can't breathe in their room. You go to the Christian heaven, the mansion that Jesus is preparing for you. By the time you go, their panties are hanging somewhere, their bras are hanging somewhere. They urinate in pills that they don't even take out of their room for 3 days. You people want to go to heaven. Jokers. 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 Look. You can make where you are the heaven. You can make where you are the heaven. And it is up to you. No God have taken any pen to write down anything that you are doing today to the extent that you will think the world has been fixed and whatever you are going to do will not bring change. Yes, people are talking as if Ghana will forever be like this and Ghana cannot change. The Christians will tell you, oh, it is written in the Bible that in the end of this, blah, 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 and that. Nonsense. There is no end time anywhere. Forget the end time and fucking fix your country. There is end time. Your church keeps building. There is end time. Your church have investment account. Jesus is coming tomorrow. Look at the buildings you are putting down. Allah, the judgment day is near. Look at the masjids that you continue building. When Allah comes, what is Allah coming to do with the masjid? What is the use of the masjid that you spend millions of cedis to build in the Zongo when a Zongo child cannot afford proper drinking water? What is the use of the masjid that you spend millions of cedis to build when a Zongo child does not have proper education? You need to learn, my people. You need to reason up. Man has been the solution to every problem that has ever come on this earth. There is no God, no deity from anywhere has ever been a solution to anything. You have not seen God before. The whole thing about all the gospels is always one man and God communicating to the masses, as if the God that created the human beings is afraid to introduce himself to the human beings. So it has Muhammad. The whole Islam is based on what Muhammad said. Thank you, my brother Ijele. You are welcome. The whole concept of Islam is based on the prophet said. The prophet said. The prophet was the one who went to the cave to meet something that he called an angel. He could be delusional. He could have seen anything. And he came back to tell you he met an angel. Yet, even the angel gave him instructions he himself did not follow. You can't use your brain. You can use your brains. TB Joshua was there. He was there in Nigeria, fetching water for people to drink. TB Joshua has given how much water for people to drink and cheat death. He could not fight his own death. The owner of the well, the owner of the water, that saved people from death, have actually died at a young age, 57. He could not cheat his own death. He could not, all the water, all the miracles TB Joshua performed at this church, it could not save him. You can't think. You can't think. Your pastor has a health insurance card. Then when you are sick, this pastor tells you to come for prayers. When you are sick, the pastor tells you to come for prayers. When the pastor is sick, he takes plane, travel abroad to be treated. Use your brain. Use your brain. I say throughout the centuries, man has been the problem and man has always been the solution, and humanity would always prioritize on surviving other than anything. The God in your religious books has got no solution. Yes. Today, human beings have got a sense that in case we want to intertrade, in case we want to interchange, we call for summit, we gather, and we put our heads together to solve it. The gods in your book could not even convert single people to Islam. The Allah could not convert people to Islam. He had to do it through the sword. You can't think. You can't think. You can't think. How many people did Muhammad have to slaughter? Slaughter people in the name of bringing Islam. You can't think. These gods in your religious books, they are not sensible gods. They act as if they are the most worst, the first genocide, every atrocity that have ever happened in this world started in the religious books. They have heard pastors say, and the youth are insulting their elders, and what. There are almost 77 insults in the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. There are almost 77 insults in the Holy Bible. Even your God knew how to tell you to insult people. Don't be hypocrites. Your God knew how to tell you to actually insult people. When you realize the realization of self, when you realize yourself and you realize you are the God, you don't need to sit down and wait for Angel Gabriel to come from heaven and tell you anything. Who is Angel Gabriel? Realize yourself and you realize you have the power. You are the God. I said the best miracle in the Old Testament was this. Moses helped the Israelites, 600,000 Israelites, cross a 5-kilometer sea. 5-kilometer sea was the biggest miracle performed. Today, man has done a bridge on the highest ocean in the world. A bridge that is about 165 kilometers long. Compare the two miracles. See who is the miracle. Jesus healed 10 lepers. Today, we have anti-leprosy vaccines that is actually preventing you from getting the leprosy at all. Not talking about healing it. What is more miracle than preventing the disease? Look, you have to think. You have to think. Leave this religious delusion. It's all deception. Religion is just selling your mental power to a certain man of God to control you, to tell you how they think you should live your life fit for them. Religion is just control. There is nothing beneficial in religion. You sell your whole mental power to someone. The person has got the right to tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that, go here, go here. And religion even makes your life worse. In religion, you are like a robot. You are like a puppet being controlled by two children, God and his own Satan. When God slaps you to pass right, then the Satan slaps you to pass left. So in religion, you are just like a robot being controlled with a remote. Play, then you play. Shoot, then you shoot. That is religion. Realize yourself and be free from religious slavery. There is no story in your books that actually made sense. I will say this, and I'll continue saying it. I said the only proof God and Angel Gabriel could have ever given to the Arabians that he existed was allowing Angel Gabriel to hang in the air in Arabia for thousands of people to see that yes, Angel Gabriel has come and is delivering a message. A man goes to sleep, wakes up in the morning, and come and tell you, Angel Gabriel visited me and told me this to tell you. Islam is just the will and submission to Prophet Muhammad, nothing else. Because no one saw anyone. No one saw God, no one saw Gabriel. It was Muhammad who claimed he saw this angel. Everything Islam is Muhammad. Likewise, Christianity. Christianity, they are even lucky. They're so-called, they have a lot of people that wrote the gospel for them. They have a lot of people that wrote the gospel for them. So at the end of the day, they all try to capture your brain. Yes, Paul says. Yes, John said. Peter said. For God's sake, Paul took pen and paper and was writing his letter to Ephesus. He was writing his letter to Corinth. How does that one concern you, a black man? So Paul wrote a letter to Timothy, his friend, when he was in prison. How does that one concern you? My people, it's time we think. Let's leave these delusions. I said death is inevitable. When you come to the realization of self, you realize without death, life will be meaningless. When you come to self-realization, you will notice that without death, life is meaningless. Everything has to die to grow. You have to die to reproduce. If the thing does not rot, more will not come, and everything dies. The tree dies. There are a lot of great oceans and rivers that have died over all these years. How much more you? James White, my brother, stop saying what you have little knowledge about. Thank you. With my little knowledge, I'm speaking a lot. So if you think I said death is inevitable, the worst thing that you should fear in your life is even poverty, not death. Death is constant. Every human being is going to die. Till today, no one has got the solution to immortality. No, we would all die. Don't fear death. The pastor that is praying to stop death from coming from you has died. Muhammad died at what age? The Jesus that you are even following, the Jesus died premature death, gone too soon. Jesus died at the age of 33. The Jesus that you are following, everything is going to die. Stop worrying yourself about death and think about saving this planet. Stop worrying yourself about death. Think about the planet. If you're a Muslim, think about the Zongo. Even if Allah is going to come, I'm telling you, Allah is not going to use that masjid for anything. Use the money you are using in building the masjid to develop the Zongo for your children. Don't tell me you don't pay taxes to the masjid. It is nonsense. Thank you very much. The fire is too much. I'll end it here. I'm saying this. I said man is the problem and man has always been the solution. There is no God, there is no angel, there is no deity anywhere giving any solution. Man have killed, man have wounded, man have healed, and man has survived. Everything in this world, the survival of the human race has always been determined by the humans themselves. The gods in your book, they don't have any solution than killing. The God did not have any solution to correcting the mistakes of this world. He had to kill. He started killing with the flood of Noah. He burned the whole city of Sodom, including pregnant women, babies. God burned the whole city of Sodom into ashes. When the killing of human beings became too much for him, the God had to come down, impregnate another human to give birth to a son that he has to kill to satisfy himself. Think. Which father would go and kill the son and drink the blood to satisfy himself? Think. When Muhammad appeared in the Quran, he was a conqueror. Last time I did the story, I told you about the characters Jesus and character Muhammad. They are all fictional characters that were created to delude people. In actual sense, none of these characters existed. We'll be going into the existence of Muhammad. For Jesus, there can be said a whole lot of times again. None of these characters existed. They were all created, and these characters have been created and created throughout history. They are not the first. Jesus and Muhammad, they are not the first, and they are not the last. The characters have been recreated just to gain control. In order to save your people, you don't have to serve Muhammad, you have to be Muhammad. In order to save your people, you don't need to worship Jesus, you have to be Jesus. That is the character. That is how the character has been created. So when the white man brought you the character, he drew the character in his image and his likeness, and he presented it to you. Therefore, you see the white man as your Jesus, and he has continued saving you till today. Fucking stop this and be the character and save your people. Enough of the hypocrisy. I've done 1 hour and 18 minutes. I'll put my link here. If you have anything to say, you can come. If you think there is anything I said here that you can challenge, my link is down there. I have some 20 minutes to go. Where's my phone? I have some 20 minutes to go. The link is there. If you want to come here and share your wisdom, you have anything to say, please, you can join me. Let's learn. I love to learn. Maybe you know something that I don't know. Maybe you know something that I don't know. So if you think you know something that I don't know, you can come here and save me. You are the savior of yourself. Man has been the savior of man throughout creation. Wherever we come from, I don't care. I said man has been the problem and man has always been the solution. Man has created the virus and man has found the antivirus. Man started the war and man ended the war. No gods. Don't be deceived that the Quran told you, and when Prophet Muhammad was going to war and Allah promised him that there will be 10,000 angels following him, it's all lie. The angels never came. He went to the war and killed people, and his people were also killed. Man has always been the solution. If you think you know more than I'm saying, you are welcome and invited. This is a free platform. Come and share your mind. Good afternoon.
Bosu.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. And I'm on snake my parent. Area. First of all, the meaning can be about the war. Captain program the queen. Chere mamuda yes. Yawo nkofo ade ya ready there then. What be fight then. Man pere me kai na there. Yenu anom common sense families for. Always year two afutu no. Emma yehuni there CCR no onya region na regions na den another Christians ma there Muslims some no on what the building man nini ane there mama pere me so me de kakra mbe so do there awa eye your friend then not na nzimeni krobo eye common sense family no mbe patch ready say wo sika na wo percentage a one ka youth na woni mensa no ejima ne ye no mente asre mi yamu feedback wade papa mamu komechi na mensa fro bi make ate na mi ya feedback on my side ai mi san kwara mbla bi na mi ya feedback
All right. Zubela.
Nam.
Akwaba.
Let's say.
Ayo.
Over Joseph. And then 3 days, Endra, and then 2 days, I'm home. On it, where I walk up home, you know, I'm what you have. More margin, and say, I buy my family, my pa. Captain Smart me, Abraham me, everything. I want to my family, my pa. Captain, first, Captain Smart, ne be kind of. No, of course, what's the man, and I'm in the behead in Abraham be kind. Baba Gidano, who didn't report me on my Facebook? Baba Gida report me on my Facebook. Obi Chana, Nase, on Tiasia, and says, oh, baby, Natam, Ubedi Natam, I am seeing matro, Yensu Bedubi. Near Tene say, oh, can't come of war, Assam. Ma'am, Nami was Christian, and I'm free Christian, who will be Islam. By Ukampe and Kamukwasana, I said, Omo margarine and that for mono. Omo margarine, ye Jumana ye Cassa, near do at them, near a foolish comment. So we are Camonina, what did you so busy mask get down? You are not normal. And I'm a minimum, I wouldn't say, your hand say, Margie the walk where you moon I back up it. Yet me to car more than 1 hour near whom I get back up. Ba ukwa Ghana pe krobi ohon ma me papa mu kro mu he papa na CZ ye busuafo na CZ o ma ke o ma degmienu okro ba akoso me kro so na cha ye se timi hye dem bo mpae eti usi masjid ne papa so ba pan nya asade e ba pan ne wo a obi kan wai wanim tantan gina commercial sen edidi na temo no wo sha wo dem bo mpae yeye arabu krom ya me we Dubai hanom ubetumi to car more than 1 hour. Omo mo Dubai ni bisa omo. Utimi to car more than 1 hour. No one imagine back up. Just one. Benya Ghana, Nima, or magic more than 20. Mudisi can be a yuma. Ama boys na politicians, Jimmy or Mama, Sebi, 2 about no mukodin kwasasem. Mo boys na ya chi am Robert Tenor and Kawofo mu 8. Mo be a yuma, ama sa mema no. Mo be a yuma, ama mo mama ya no madani 2 for no. Mo be a yuma, ama mo mama ya bebu Arab mami ha ye bre no. Mo be a yuma ama omo no. Mumbie. They obi wa hanom oye kremoni oye cleaner. Because of Rock 4 went to mean Kentino, ya fana by your side. Because when to mean Carofo. By Quran, what means not the S2 Quran, and can't Quran to send a sebi. All body did they did na wushu. Send a sebi over hip hop, ne highlight. Brofu Bakuse went to mean Kabi. Mube be a numa. Omo de he une jankem of man and per se matches no don but what you machine. Haje bu e ho no wo sua dwuma awie mo ayi no month no lima me wo ye ho no man sua adepam. Omo maga ni sua adepam lo mo de mmara abeto ho se maga na mpoma tale ma obi e ma ne mbro ne sre enta ne kotodwu so e mba ne soro. E maga ne mpansa ya ye betwa ya wam. Na sa brukutu sign no na hwan ne pam. Eziga na ja adwuma no. Wajado mu container si wo mo so pam na ade ofi basi ko iska wonya. E maya no kwa mpema mo fo mo nto adwuma mu. Mo de mo makọ nursing training ba mu ni hospital. Mo pese nkra ni wie nursing training no mo koye adwuma wo mo num ana mutiri so. Mo de nkra e ko teachers training college. Me cross schools amwasie endru 5,000 e wo Ghana. Muti mo mani wi o mo kwata ade wo.
Na Ghana nkasa wo school san na o mo nko mo de 5,000.
O mo kwa be na 5,000. Na odo ba e ko school so mbe ye onkoya accountant bank be na mo nkamo fo mo wa wo pesa o bank o ba e ko school be kwakoya juma o bank. Edi nkura asese no. Aye ka wo baba jiga se ho ahwa wa wani basa ase ne. O yira ma waduane ndi be keka nkwase asem no. Enye se sa esom TV Joshua se ho ahwan. TV o se TV. Ewa wa me be comment amehu ye fa ne say platform bi amahu se wa comment wa post bi an ma be sere. Minsu ade because no timi nya na awufuo nte ye de no wuye. Me dem so mo fa ni funu nkoto asori de mo ho. E bia 5 days time no akasa betimi asori because obi otimi nya na awufuo de. Obi otimi nya na awufuo. No wawu a time. Unya ni obi a wawu na wa akasa wawu a. Ti se Yesu die yi bi. Nyanse bie ni. Ye ka mo ma yenka. Bra manu asiwai. Ase, dem a we do so wa. Me de dem a be ka na ayro ma na be mo.
Ja me ma sem no.
Me de jamane de. Ase de abomi bia.
Artist well. Yeah, fire mama white kasa.
Brother, first of all, mention my some business I made in the credit Kofi TV. First of all, no more and down a Captain Smart ni program do no. You guys make a great job. Aun Abraham na captain no. Ya mention one is in. Won't give you a long life and prosperity. Ya name na nanom abosom no. One show one window in chill. Wo oye a woman, what say oye in sumo, a wiemu. Undi unechu bibi aram. Now, first of all, as no meka inane there. Oye a young man of Ghana pono. Woman yantiasi, woman yanting maybe after there.
Always well, man. That is well. A minute. Baba Gida, with all due respect, you see, the comments that you are typing is annoying me. What you can do is there is a link down there, Baba Gida. Take up the link. Let's come here and digest what Islam has actually done for someone in Ghana. Come and, Baba Gida, follow the link. come and tell me how you think Islam has contributed to the development of Ghana, apart from the masjid that you keep building at every corner in every zongo. Babangida, follow that thing, don't be shy and come.
No, bisa Babangida o save wo Ghana banga. Bisa no. Aba prophet ngene nya no. Bisa ndo na mo save wo Ghana banga. Bisa no mam. Aba prophet na Ghana eden onye fu no. Me kwame no do. Ma me pere me train na ne there. Oye be nuanum Christian and Muslim fo. One year kran Abraham and Yembredi and na oye common sense fam fo. Wa teach pi me at yem bi ase. There onye religious no beden. Oba me ya de yakwe n'enyim. Na imum nye na so ye boye umod na eben ebetum akwe n'enyim. Ma futu ambetu sayen krenini eye krobo awosada gomba etc. nzmeni etc. Se u village e wo no mbofuma oguo no obi onim ni sanu ejima no be prefer so oye me am always make a construction na the yes as obo enti because yan mu bi no yen education level no onju na chi nti se construction ba obi yare betuma ade wenye bi ade aye one kan won mbom mbofuma onim label work onim how we lay cement a blocks onim how we fix your friend and mortar. Those people no only most why carpenter na no one bring one together. Now we nala one year say assassin na waro tone ma China for no and na waro tone Mexico for no one government nka and one ohin no one nka na say a percentage kakram no betum raise one raise man no one good the masters mo see affordable houses no one firma rent by the percentage coming on one akasi one function we class one I think that then obabwa another on yet the mumpunas so when I saw the yimpa kola is going same no way jina no academic of night and album since you are making a contract no put ya when you any contract behind no when you the nimpa no we sikano what ba or assassin project won't see that in face no way one a free on coordinate and one we to me see the medan so now why there one way ejima no obiala nya one room into most say no kodu na yebe shati nya contract no contract ye nya no che nimpa ya na at the end of the month or chiwo tio okay and fan there 5 million na 5 million be more 4 million because at the done fu ya the entry ya titiwe from on under library betu I think ya the man say then ye betumi ade ya boy because ya nya dem a ye mpanyimfo no when you ready why because them like ye mpanyimfo you ready mpanyimfo ni mi say when you ready now abofra no wo me enya ho na ejima lo kodo construction lo kodo a o girlfriend ekita no ebetum ahwe na o nya o girlfriend anyem ye den on kohwe because abrochiri ade yi say be your friend and MP mpo nyim no kazi oye younger bi na chila e kawa younger family no inti dem MP no unti mpo ede kedi dem younger na chill because young ade no aye Ghana no young girl and so ye married and yet the boyfriend on ye unless okay wala two wala sa and okay mate they akra goshi as soon as you make them when you car on a fan age on to girlfriend that's creating a common sense family our kata wo same no the bia e wo no try not gather boys are only one sandwich jima about function bring them together let's try to build the country. Na secondary mamlekano minu abesiaba ne ka asem oye TV doshua Bible no yeti ase there say what kun obi a oye Kristo no wu ni mo je pifu no chere oye Kristo papa nti o we take there Jesus Christ no owu wa there onye kwan papa bi the same place TV Joshua one ma yan fema TV Joshua ne bla wa boy nara no won ko wu anka ne wa de won ko wu okonya accident won bi o mi se on there ni papa na anye ni papa bi you anime one brand one train ye say doing to mankind serving to God is service to what service to mankind is service to God and I the man service to kind is service to God one man bobo ya unyankopon ni baby na do connection kaka ma no I do collection kaka ma ma me dey to me then your friend then oye me costume papa bi costume the suit the question me suit papa bi me dey na do correct ma ko to me egua papa bi on me costume there then oba combination me from bobo na cancel your team into say prayer service ye one unua na o te pad one e comedy na oyo o one family jima no kan fan ba no ho no sika kakra na every year, oh, the me ala na chile collapse. No, I think you look on the map and the country may develop. Near people so the yes. See, look on the map. Or throw for you and one year and one year. What the boy in. Now, secondary. The me akwana na why and what you tabano. It's not the right akwana way. Ghana akwana way ya wa tell kurano 5 months. Na crack than 50. We don't call it vote. We don't need quantity vote. We need quality. It will be by your corner. Member French that the government without corner why how many years or how many months that road is there going to relax? I'm done. Thank you, brother.
That is well. Thank you very much. There are some people who don't want to join, okay? But there is my number is down there. You can call WhatsApp calls only, please. My number is down there 02002047 407272. You can call WhatsApp only. Bra Kofi Amankwa, welcome to the program.
Welcome. Me that's it, Mr. Mommy. A quenja mama smabobi. Me 30 you bet me ma will come as I will who. Mimi with Germany. I will who. Sabi, ye be a twin to me near. Not a month for Guasia. Not Omuka, it's a Kramufuoni Christianity. Emwa Africa. Sayan paying for no. I'm come. I'm almost whom dear. Na ye do baby a mitimi transes na ma dwene saa de bia me se broni na tie
Kofi unim de ha me wo mo unim de ha wo mo e what time I can't religion asem and what time ye tufu ama man na koso omo ba na ka fu kra no akofa Islam asem aba who ka fu asem
me mama
Islam Islam what do you mean
me mama. Say, at times I be transi and busa me say you me bruni neti na me busa me ta na pa na ba bia me ye adwuma so me nko na me tuntum me ha wo me say ade nti na mutim ye we na ye nti bi nye me nu ayo de ma me ya ne say Kofi eye adusia say when sia de a na or the airship program be na sick after the Second World War no now Germany na ya de bi no meku saa mre no mu dun so te ye dun ne nyina ye dun so abonde no na so abofu na Jesus na God because God onyame no dey adwena ma wa wie omoa ne ku saa ya mai no aye mai a sabi ye nam tuo so binumu wu na yetimi ba ha be dipa ye sani sika ko ba busafo na aseme uka uhu sani unzi nka no di mo sese no master ti say muna Abraham no ho ahwan twi Jonas ne ho ahwan no me my example time Bob Marley pese o ma Jamaica no na two parties no na tuntum ko but I say obetimi akụ ama nipa no anya ntiase sabi yo me bible ti achi kakra but me share Jamaica ni bi so obedi aduro ti say ye ban nya hu bi krono ye kakra but Israel man for say woman sa Christianity ni nkrabusem no free agree mu ni entertain bayinfo no mama ni yo because say who catch the broni say me na baba 2 3 4 times na o tbrofo ti ogugu no kenkan no hu nem Africa ye wo pa na sabe ya hu kire ya na mitimi so ohwe mi otimi say sabi me aboa sabi me aboa gaya igua de ya igua no me no bishop na ni Ghana Yeah, okay, me there can make be a day. Make be a day. Some the woo, some woo. The Panama Ghana. But you see, Fidel Kaya, a community, and I can be and a two more. A this of million years quite intimate non danger, no matter how you are African. Oh, dear, yes, I said, Jimmy Seminole, said Jimmy Seminole. Then I young come home, they am fighting for Africa. You're fighting for Africa. You're fighting for Ghana. Number involved here. And when I'm a beacon, so to board border more. A sambaus. Heavy neighbor, yo, heavy no higher. But then, the only yellow. So, almost the sun. Since then, I heard documentary be. Then the pet the semi-free Cameroon and Nantes, circle, Mexico, jungle. Na jama ni bi ne ono hwe jungle so mo help a masa ye mobo di bodo mo hwe na sa ni na man resource na ye wo no na onu nya busia no ana sa omo di busia no 64 good years se kwa mo di independence na ye si ye yi motorway kwa Africa ho a motorway a ge ye wi motorway na mi hu atasi klasia masa be do be sia why do be sia
Mr. Mankwa yada se wa be kire wa adwen pa ye program na mo kasa se ye pe ye hu mpanyufo sa programs no mo kasa na o se mo paponya no mo kasa because ye nkrofo se youth no na emu ade but ye mpanyufo bebro mu nim situation ye koso a o mu nyanko me kasa mpa cho ye wo kola bi wa ha. Good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from? And I'll be catching you. Ibe Mamprusi Dagomba. The other can be a you. You consulte you. Oh, also.
When I tell you, I be a comparison. South Asia. Abroad, the year you see, and what was suddenly no bidder. And to you be a or had an external beside instead of a come back of my leg. Actually, no, I share a pound far from me on my new not I'm looking for some of the solutions. My year, and this and a few yapping. If you when you about solution because I will flow mission on my movie no. Sestiano, young man, and the number one on the cost to my parents for your year to my day. Out to your tax, send a bind to provide more money. But if you have a check up South Future, arrested to everything. I get my phone a moment at process school. So, but I think the kitchen is different. It is a good one to solution, but why in a camel crack, a small yakin and a small yakin. It's a bad disaster. We shall come to my time. We will tell I'm a woman. Cannot be something. I'm not a man to say. But I can't say, no, my luminated, I yet to watch it. Or more yet to know, we are in should be. But I get the rest of the apple here. It will be a bit of all cassette, a final, and I say, well, my who is coming and you saw your player. See, can I need now focus upon me? I don't want to who and now I'm saying. Now this come on here, Messi, Capitan, so you make my man. Oh, yeah, why said you do what I want? Subano in January, I don't see idea in your pie. I don't know how to say, Rebecca Wasson. When I want you and when you and me, I didn't hear Papa, I mean, I said, one way of broadcast, no cassette to me for say, most some Subino. Now, see, a attacking from the front of the air. But they are weapons, I feel about West. Because, Obi, when you come on, you know, you get contract and man. So, Nafaka road map of the more grass. Offer studying now. The education is all factory there. Over when I can do one, neck when I say. My father over Cotamano.
Yente kola nenkaun.
Oh, yeah, and I said to my moon, dear, no, yeah, boy, never mind. And she said, we never, yeah, to my for Yana, you my guess,
Right, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Also, what fire kakra, Obi so from my man, right? Hello? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Obi jina suntia. Obi jina suntia. All right. Okay. All right. P Black. P Black too.
Yeah. Lifestone, what team is ya?
Eto nkapa ito be ma kola bi ma yamfa ni wi na. Yeah, nto aso why. Hello?
Ude mo obi nkasa na mi pe baby njina why? Mo obi nkasa na mi pe baby papa njina na. Oh. Okay. Why mo obi nkasa?
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Me the brain sanitizer, me kasa with me.
Yeah.
Me ba chow program now you me follow pa program we no pa dey na wasipa Saudi Arabia be a Muslim me no kasa me a Muslim by one program now we no
yeah
and now me pray na of or dey we ato social media say chino jana say di prophet Muhammad atemno
yeah
ono say o Ghana and ani papa be fa ni di bra US enti ewo ho anu otwa ticket no aba Ghana no abesra na danfo no amamu 11 city 22 city no asaba ensan say mo amasori a modi mo ho ato a mo fight for Ghana fix the Ghana no one say platform bi a e Muslim bi e ye bi
dabe
yo modi ho ani say yemfa sikamra no munsi mosque no munsi makaranta na ye sisters na o muti Ghana no obewie makaranta oni adwumaye obewie school oni adwumaye musumum bie nyuma emma mu oti US no busane say company ben wo bebie wo Ghana ye sisters no enko makaranta wie no fo madwuma me wo US mini Arabs wo eye adwuma wa ha me ba US na mini Arab ni na eye adwuma first me do nyame a wata soro e ka tiro say me phone so na ma set alarm a eya sorry asan
na bro we are Muslim I mean bisa wa same way Ghana ha anka yepe omo betimi abom panyifo pressure pa mo ma ye the right thing anka ye Muslim so but as a mo interest na ye say ye beba muske bi na mo de ahye mo ho Nandie, Obia Kasetia Prophet Muhammad, Nanya Machi camera, and Yanama from Kontiba. Every day, day in, day out, Muslims are interested in fighting for their religion than even the place that they exist. They be almost tenokram form. Adain.
Boy, no Prophet Muhammad. Now with the program also. No open a commenting say, Adaina on Kasantia Christians, Muslims, any Prophet Muhammad. I don't see one no and home. Na Prophet Muhammad,
that is a simple question. And then a Prophet Muhammad, I am a Ghana.
I am a Ghana for we say what did the Prophet Muhammad at them? Unim, Maminka some job, Unim, Christian for the Anabedaho, Muslims for all, Obia Bessa way independence. Obia Bessa way independent. Me see, me wa alaba, your friend me wa alaba. Me pesa me video call no mo me tina me ya use. Ye wo me wa alaba na metino ewa Kumasi ye wa alaba ye wa Kantulu ye wa Babu number 1 number 2 Sawaba Lima busa wo say company say na what's up bantem wo none of them within the company and so must mox ex masalachi me say kasa Lima fo nyina MPMra mox cry benya empty spaces. Yes sisters esua adwuma me hu say yakasa ye beto baby sisters. So who are the Pama, ye befa now we are Jumadi Triauka, we are Babania, what's your Baba, Uniska, 1 year, I don't know. The Biafis have been alive as a lachi, fees have been alive as a lachi. Yakuya bread, Awaka, boys feeding you what is come. Muslims are a more than more fighting money around for their fighting, Munya justice. And I don't mean who limit be or no stress risk or cinema salachi. What you're free parastan, I want to tell you. And I'm saying, what? Palestine for Israel for what Ghana a campaign, you cool your bra, our casual. Mintis or Maka once say, you got demonstration, say, you're instant justice. See, Ama Plano justice, Ama. And you Saudi Arabia for see, yes, sisters, or more, yes, sister, be friend or Saudi Arabia, Saudi didn't come out.
Yeah.
And Comunia Juma or Ghana, and a Mumia Juma. Ghana, bro, Ghana. So when you Juma, that's a month, we have 5 million and not 10 million. And remember, continuous. Who took it? Because what you country? I'll be telling you, 4 months, 5 months near Jauka. As Muslims, I did face the country agenda with me. Who said platform? Let me see. Hey, Muslims for your mother Ghana.
Muslim Bako cry one fakuya or kuikra. Omwankasa Kromo sending at them. Hey, Timothy, pen na fa kun yo okun no kro mo say di na tem.
It's me the money Abraham. Me Muslim Abraham.
Bro, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, pa. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Pacholo or what Facebook on my way. Okay.
Lifestone me my money.
Yeah, you also. Yo.
Me problem here. I didn't know you know Muslim. Or more yet to say, man, Zakura no piano to me say of a camp once and your modia. You know who I'm in Tassie and your modia. I didn't know free my babu, we did on what you some question. And you can say, or more the town when he has said, and your mom point the into my find my somewhat. Because I didn't know more. It is a Muslim for them, find sure which things I didn't in your mom. Yeah, one John walk. Your friend says, I did your home corner or one push ya, or more the pray where your mind would be. Yes, we all hope I see a sound question. And this will be based in TBS no be sound when I would turn on Munchim and Yatim did Medas. When a few young mine Akatia Yina years to Senka and Webby Free by Biaba. Ye yam one. Obi Frau or say a yetimamu for. Na say yetimamu for necessary any currency I had been a dear, and it then paying for you are more yet. I didn't think I won't pay for. Say Penina Semrato, your Papa through Lifestone.
Emre wo ha ni tino oma bebre wo ha na ye wo Ghana ibedu ha yintiminye because wo ya mra ni so mu a onfa awon tel nti se wo ye so se sa de same mra na omo asise wo ano so omo asise bi wo Ghana e na ye wo ye no ye beto se mra wo ho aye nyina edi mra so a nka ofi se the sani betimi akwa ro no ani egumpo ano so won nti mra no na ye sere se omo nsem kana maye omo nsem pan fo no omo di mra na nimu no nsem kana
Bravo fi
fanya disuade na ye hwe omo nti omo
bravo fi medase pa medase me time na ya P Black too
Yeah. Uti mikaye.
Yeah,
My baby. Oh, okay. Okay, wait a minute. Mami kasa kitwa mina minko. Mu program na mu yani de kama pa michobia Zubaira michobia. We are jagba ne P Black too. Yeah. Enti when program na mu yani because na meet you. Now who make a point be like you were making point. For example, when TB Jones one. Onu kura wa wu enura but tamna woti ase no wo si wa hu say omo aklemu say omo bompaya mo bi asa yare ne ade na na se uko check on kase ne page or the poster bia to her few days ago because when the birthday eba say on the 15th this month and I say 16th the birthday eba on the TB Johnson the birthday eba and on oil flyer about the birthday and all the two the pages so and I don't know who here. So when you know some kind of like lessons beer and can say yes one frame when ultimate future or see one who could say my kajas or babe wunu or who here Clinton be winning we
TB Joshua we nyane ewufo kwa na we nyane ewufo na
ono obe otimi ye obi kidney wo huhu effect sa bi she man mani pa no hoto no share unu adwuma otimi ye
yeah enti so but no all the birthday flyer edit to her and another on the who here enti when you can say here the be yesu na me be frame but Africa uji ho a unti mimi de madwun sa minti ase se CI so obi su so repair na say oh na say o si oye with TB Joshua Junior omo be kwa kwadi nichi omo nyina be kwa kwadi nichi ye wo ha na man no kwa o si 26 and I say 27th March corona we are seeing na corona be ko 2020 na o ka asam no corona kura afi corona ejiji no ho different types kura eba so iti me the point na when point na me make ni nyina ne say obi be make claim mumma yen hwehwem mo yen kodichi keke yen san kuku hu ensa ma say yebra we Babangida so no form wa o how me Babangida de me minimum nipa oye so o ha na o tapi say with masjid no enye si debendebe mupa musi masjid bebre enfo bia ho but the thing is that you have to go back to the root. Why do you even need this masjid? Then you go back and back to your own prophet Muhammad. So and you again go back and back. How did he even get the revelation? Okotina we be careful. So when Kromo on two types. So uko kinka Ibn Ishaka. Angelin ban Angelin catcher say on kind and I know see on kind de ben. So and as a who sa ko we Buhari or no about 200 years later and on the obetro story I see 200 years later and on the obetro book no Ibn Ishaq ni churo first and I kura later kurana Buhari suba and on so obetro ni there Buhari de osi Muhammad can say, I can't read. So, or say, on to me read it. A honu uko check a red flag. A red flag. When you know, and check it, we call a red flag. iti so obi di sumuni ba anase obi make it claim yeah obi tima di ochi yeah enfo obi aho but who the hwehwem at least nim hwehwem keke sis misi last be kremoni bi frame osi wo ho say me post nema bebre we list didi we nkrofo ena okan we be Quran verse bi ena osi opese meninu min cancer verse nkura but now okan Quran yepa into okan sa Quran verse we ena me say okay yeah unim Quran okan osi sa Quran de eye one pe eye baku pe the same letter sana Muhammad kai the same letter the same every dot is there ena me say man there be Quran no Muhammad le kasa Quran ka say the 7 Quran e ma no ena time no mu chiro Quran no the time of Muhammad dot na did that down it was not there the dot was invented later so that people can read it like easy so don't tell me that at the time of Muhammad there was dot onim onyina na ye catch say oh when Quran e ba kupe from Muhammad time dot na e wo ho na the same dot onim so onim they don't even know like the religion they don't even know the background of the religion they don't know omu first caliph no wa she Quran bi what because na confusion wo na we na edosu inti so we can we na we can we na confusion by e na omu shi ni nyina na omu ja ba kutu ho sa ba kusu no emusu na yesa baba benya like 27 Qurans up to the nekro enu so ho de omu kinkan we a house Quran Egypt for no mo years we sa Quran we ma omu so uko Tunisia a different Quran omu kinkan wo ho uko Libya a different Quran sometimes worse ni sometimes sukura meaning a total different we ube kase si a omu nkonko ko check Quran po omu en check no ma baba attack you last be me posti we be banana yedi banana if you go back like 80 to 100 years later banana na ewo hono na seed wom na seed wom but na we mboa bi by na omu say na omu we banana no na ya nipa scientists for omu create banana yedi and omu create we are any seed no me too to na kremo ni bia baba be didi matem say me di Avram achi me hu say na me me di we Avram ti inti me hwe say na me ma gumi nimu ase me di banana na obi kura na ba na obeka che say masa uni ma ko hwehwe the opposite na true me kura me di obi achi me say uye kremoni na say uka asam na say papa me mefa I will take it so who make it claim na say who ma we evidence I don't have problem with you but say who be catch them say who prophet na flying donkey so echo heaven ho echo share Allah anase nyame bi wo ha we just who be prove at me there is no way say mejiadi there is no way obi atena kponkoso na ono otu course ho and Okoshia Moses Kura. Ura she story no kro. She Okoshia when Allah man 50 daily prayers. Inti a part say every 30 minutes bia anka say omo bompae. Every 30 minutes bia anka say omo sorry no omo ko wenu omo ko bompae. Muhammad over down and Moses catch say 50 Kura dosu. And oko back bia and Allah yi 10 and I say 5. Also back and Moses Charlie dosu. Oko sa na ebe Dani 5 no. And a 5 no kura uko kinka Quran mo eni ho 3 hadith no Buhari betro 200 years later no eni na chira chiro mu kura sa na omu yesala no so eni kura na eni kura omu kufa ho uko Islam sumuna kasa kura omu achichechichem shia foran kasa kura uko omu kura ma omu wa branches bebre so uba we suna fowa uba suna for tijania nyina omu ya suno udesa uko tijania kura ankasa kura ma omu wa branches almost 200 and something obia ye ne tanfu we tanfu obia omu ye gidigidi sa Ubeka hey boy. Ni nyina say Ghana Ghana I say yebesie kurom no. Mu de mu fa musum ya musum. But just at least play your part so that we can just like fix the country. Don't just say that me the misum. So obi ankasha and family misum me the me koda. Just obi ka bibi na se ka Islam anso no be say krimo for mo apie. Fix the country the mo kwakwa dida. Mo ye de mo pe me the family ho. Mo ye de but so obi bisa question kura keke o. Me the when the California me kwahwe but me nim the eba ya and Emma we Jonas ono ka asam no but some part no boy no na Jonas see hey chale men focus asam no enfam bre me hu na me kura to say like man because I'm say na obi na comment bi intimation that nim the genesis of sa we na sa asam na kasa me share nim but them nim nyina say na obisa question or see debe na Prophet Muhammad ye di magana we are na machino. Yes, and who na machino no the Prophet Muhammad or the ye di magana na ye kama na ye fe no bia fa no ho. Say see asami sorry me say me 80s and say see asami sorry na like me didn't crofat them na so obi bi sam na 80s for kura dem na mo ye magana e ho na ma baba betirem ana enye say ka ye the video no command debe oka bibi di na Jonas benye problem na ade Jonas na gas on so be high lawyer ade na say that nyeti say like who can na we no marshal na ma deport na say bibi sa
Black
ya meet you
waka sa bibi
okay who dey me from the last point na from was so my first story be na from was so who say hello
Adams.
Now.
Adams na no program is we. Okay. Adams intimi nkasa. Adams for omo yetu Zubela for wanu si na ya mpon program no na mekobe menya ko.
Che Islam ene Ghana Christian ene Ghana saasum we mienu emeye ntimi nkoye nim. Me wadanfo bi wo ha mene ni nyina ne ba pro yi mu. Se ebeye adwuma oba meme ko 26 March. Ana ono so ba 29th March. She unim say girl na si 9 bedrooms of papa nim ho hwe. Aga abaya ni nya ska ebo ska no 1 year so odi besi fie no. Ode kwata asas no papa say onye no ombre fie na wonya bema e ma ne kwa. Bema na ye kremoni na bema na ti na busu afie edan na bema na ti na ye chimba enho ana afenso bema na ye nyan enti sika na ode beta asase no onfa nto ho na se na ebe ya owale a odi sika na bema na bema ndi ahye nyan ni mu no no oba de eye haram kura se wotu kwan ekoye adwuma papa wa wo ba because of religion ti hwa asem o ka kire ne ba no. Enti girl ni discount to honum. Fancy about how 1 year na me head and nya clothes. Afi girl ni ha say buy me. Na me tell say wa ko school wa ko SS. Utimi kan Quran wo brofu. Enti kan brofu na ti ase. Me manage 3 months. Girl ni we girl about and I say mbo me Quran ni mu cry en fa kwem. I did book with
Bella say ya chro mo say Quran, if you read a translation, you don't get any blessing. Can Arabic, I don't blame them too much. I also moralizing almost start a kind translation.
No catch me say Zikila na say we grandpa ya bokrano. Komshini awa ene den won ya de bon pa kwa san fa so bia ni su. And I'm saying it is some papa catch on the fault. Religion no woman no. Unim say na girl na jai Islam no. By send me ba bonten be kasa me papa ene me mama nya nkramufo me mama ye deeper life ni. Me papa kwa do no nkwa asole. By girl ne papa ye limam. I'm a bold limam ni dia opi o platform so onim limam no be hu se ne ba so masi. Ene de o Dubai ha onye salam. Ni papa pese o che ne say oba die oso ka to papa na say da ade abema betumi ayi na oba betumi ayi papa say ye bonsam ekasa na waka no ene girl no di sika na ma me papa ne me papa o ama me papa si 9 solid bedroom aka painting me papa de dan ni na ma han e di sika na to na account wo nya alert no on the phone so say sika edan e de ma han 2 years sika egu na account wo ba ni busu ani bia ni oyo ba o si dan nye ne mo be ma o de si o so mbe ware no no be ma ne wo e because of religion me nya be ma
ya be to aso ma nkwa national security for ba be family ya be to aso why
me the manual si munja religion na ya fa ya Ghana ne njene Ghana ne ho why
ya da ase me do bi ase so ba ha Adams me wo se opesa okasa so wentimi. Unfortunately, no, I have to end the program. As usual, my name is Lifestone GH. That's my platform. When you come, you speak any language you want. Fortunately, my message that I brought here was simple. Man has been the solution and man has been the problem. Let's focus on fixing the world instead of thinking there is a better place to go from here. I have to go, so I have to end the video here. But before I go, let's listen to this my favorite man. He has some sense to pump into your head.
I'm asking you, do you really know? Do you know where you come from and where you go? Hello? You don't know? No. You can bullshit yourself. I came from heaven, I'm going back to heaven. If you're so sure that you're going back to heaven, why don't you go today? If you knew that you are going to a better place than here, why don't you go? This is the greatest crime upon humanity, that we told people there is a better place than this. This is a crime, because this is not allowing human beings to live their life to their full depth and dimension, because they think the real life is elsewhere. Now, do you have any proof that you are not already in heaven and making a mess out of it?